As far as new series go, it's pretty hard to find a series that doesn't sexualize characters or rely heavily on animation to garner a fan base or attraction. Sakamoto Days and Solo Leveling are two of which that have managed to make a lot of noise without depending on these two factors. Let's see how they compare. Firstly, we have the basis of the story. The theme for Sakamoto Days revolves around a retired hitman and one of the best in the Japan Association of Assassins. However, quits when finding love, thus bringing about a bounty on his head, primarily adhering to action, comedy, and adventure. Solo Leveling focuses on a young adult trying to make money the quick way to pay for his mother's treatment. This involves going on dangerous quests to fight vile monsters. He starts off with no powers, but things change after one quest, and now he has the ability to level up by grinding and fighting greater monsters. Mainly involving action, reverse isekai, and adventure. As far as plot goes, both are pretty strong and even. Next, protagonist. Sakamoto follows the better protagonist. Swaying from the typical Japanese main character archetype, Sakamoto is a fat man, very calm and collected, making him a likable character, very reminiscent of Saitama. Solo Leveling is in Japanese, but it follows a pretty generic character form, in a weak character becoming strong. He's cool, but that's about all. As for side characters, Sakamoto is heavily immersed in their side characters. Maybe too immersed. I'll get to that later. Solo Leveling has side characters, but as the title suggests, he prefers to work alone. Side characters are solid, but aren't a huge factor, so I'll give this to Sakamoto just in the aspect of side character involvement. Going on to plot, I would say both plot lines are very consistent in pertaining to the theme and developing more stories from it. Solo Leveling is pretty basic and stays around the same area. Sakamoto opens up several settings and makes them into their own arcs. I would give the edge to Sakamoto due to a little bit of world building it includes. Solo Leveling does include stuff outside of South Korea, but nothing major. As for antagonists, I would say Sakamoto also takes the cake here. I believe it's more thought out. There are a handful of great antagonists in Solo Leveling, but then there's some that are just bland. Keep in mind, most are monsters. Some fights can be great, but others can just be like watching a card battle game. The main antagonist in Solo Leveling doesn't really play a part in the series till like the last couple chapters, and it catches you off guard and seems forced. Sakamoto antagonists come in earlier and are well developed. Next, for characteristics, like actual characters and design. I would say both are even here. Once again, Solo Leveling is very basic in this manner. Sakamoto doesn't present any new like characters. A good amount of them even follow the same characters as ones from other animes. Sometimes it's a bit bothersome, but never enough to drag it. If I had to choose one I prefer, it would be Solo, but it's pretty even nonetheless. Next is plot armor. Sakamoto Days often puts itself in a troubling situation with this. Solo Leveling, they don't need much explanation. It's heavy on plot armor, but that's the point. Sakamoto Days has a lot of plot armor, but unlike Solo Leveling, it should have explanations. Since it doesn't, it makes the plot armor annoying, especially when it's a garbage character versus a really strong one. So I'm giving the edge to Solo Leveling here. And going on to flaws. Solo Leveling, as I've stated, is very basic, but it's basic done fine. The flaws for this story is the play on romance in the last arc. The final arc, the battle in which he's set to face the monarch of destruction, is rushed, making it very confusing and forced. I had to reread chapters several times just to get it, just because it was so abrupt. Nothing good about it. Also, like I stated, battles with larger demons are boring, but there isn't many. However, they do copy the Chimera arc in Hunter x Hunter bar for bar, which seemed tedious. The romance aspect is just corny because it was kind of snuck in there, but it doesn't play a big part to really be a deal breaker. As for Sakamoto, their flaws are heavy. There isn't much either, but the weight of them is drastic. One is the power of friendship aspect. Sakamoto Days tries to make every side character important, and it's so annoying. It'll be the most unrealistic outcomes, even in anime standards. It's really heavy on that theme, as Sakamoto intends to protect the things he cares for. For this, it brings many questionable outcomes in the story that just make it unbearable. It doesn't help that his whole crew of characters are useless. Manga doesn't seem like it's going to be done yet, but doesn't also seem like it'll be around much longer. And they've been hinting Shin's powers for a very long time. Shin is Sakamoto's old partner and second strongest in the group, which means nothing because he actually stinks and is useless in any meaningful fight. Having your side characters drag your main character in battle is annoying. It's like if Naruto had a bunch of Kibas and Sais to fight by him. This is what I meant by too immersed in the side characters. If you're going to give them this much importance, they have to be useful. But nope, they all suck. It's unbearable. This is the greatest flaw of Sakamoto and drags the show by a whole ton. I personally don't have either above the other. I think they come pretty close in terms of rating. I wouldn't say they're great animes in the general sense, but when looking at only new gen animes, I would say they're pretty solid. But in the grand scheme of things, they're both just alright. Both have great pros and some sour cons. That's all for this video. You guys let me know which series you prefer, Sakamoto Days or Solo Leveling. See ya.